get it.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, family. Welcome, LinkedIn family, YouTube, Facebook. Welcome to another fresh live edition of Real Talk with Carl and Charlene. I want to thank all of you guys that are tuning in with us right now, live across the globe. We thank you and we appreciate you for chiming in. Please put in the comments where you're tuning in from, because we love to hear from you. We love to hear your perspective. We love to hear what you got to say, and just join in on the conversation. We got a great topic for you today and an awesome, amazing host, and we can't wait to get it started. For those who going to check in with us on hashtag replay, you may be busy right now, you may be working, can't get in front of us, can't watch us. Don't worry about it. Hashtag replay got you covered. So you also chime in, let us know where you're tuning in from, drop in the comments your perspective, your thoughts, join the discussion. We do go back, we do engage, and we love you for supporting. But I can't do this by myself. I got my hostess with the mostest. Come kick it off with me to begin another great week. What's up, Charlene? What's up?
Good morning.
Good
What's
morning. What's
going
up?
on, sir? What's
What's
going
going
on,
on? What it be like?
family? Oh man,
What it
it's
be like?
good. I made it through that heat stroke, the heat
Yeah,
stroke
yeah,
season.
Jersey.
Good
We had like
Lord.
about 9 days. Now, I
Whew.
think I got a little darker. I don't know if I turn these lights off, you may not see me.
Okay. But I will say I this weekend I got some face to face time with my people. We did a nice little winery tour in Long Island. If you guys have not done that, that's a cute place to be. And especially for the summertime, it was still cool, even though it was, muggy and everything, but we were able to go in and out, and it wasn't crazy. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And it was just fun time, just time to talk and chill out with the ladies. It was good times, good times. What was your weekend like, sir?
My weekend was like in the house, still dealing with this sickness. So it was in the house, not too much going on, just trying to. So on the downside now it's clearing up a little bit. I'm staying hydrated. I didn't put Ricola on the map. I didn't bought like 300 bags of Ricola over the weekend. But other than that, I'm feeling good. Everything is good. I'm ready to get it started. It's another week. We're coming up into the last week of July, guys. I can't say it enough. 2022 has flown by. We're going into August, like really August, the eighth month of the year already. And though it's been hot, man, it was hot for about past 8, 9 days. I think we was typing in the hundreds in the Northeast, and I know everybody's hot, so we ain't just excluded, or we just not the only ones. This you guys are feeling. I hope you guys enjoying it. Like Charlene, go get your groove on, because before you know it, it'll be back down to the fall. We'll be right back into the swing of the regularness. Right, vacations over, school's back, and holidays is done until the big ones: Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, those kind of things. But I'm ready to
Or
get it
some of us
rolling.
fighting winter. But
Yeah,
before
yeah.
we do get it
Then we be
rolling,
back actually to my weather. Like I love winter. I don't love the snow. Don't get it twisted.
mm-mm,
People get that twisted.
mm-mm.
I love the winter
You can
because I'm
keep
I'm
the
that
winter.
sweater guy.
Take my piece of the winter, and you can hold that for me. Okay.
I got you. I hold it down. I hold it down. I'm the
Yes.
sweater guy. I like the blazers. I'm the sweater. The beard out like
Okay.
Santa. You know what I mean?
Okay, you in the Cosby sweaters. But I want to make sure we give some love to our sponsors. Thank y'all for
Yes.
connecting and sponsoring the show. And of course, we're going to hit it off with Russ and Scott. If you have not already, join their live business mastermind group where you can bounce ideas off of one another. That's what Carl and I do in there. And we get some new thoughts, some new processes, and we actually get to talk through ideas we already have in our head, and we want to say, is this something new? Have y'all guys heard of, seen about it? What do you think? And then, of course, they always say, pull the trigger. Let's see how it goes. And so if you want to join that group, you'll see the link in our throughout the show. We're going to do that, and we're also going to drop it in the chat. And of course, the Black Toolbox by Martin Pratt, that's another beautiful resource. You guys can get a copy about that, and make sure that you support our fellow LinkedIn creators, because they are all making things happen. And Carl and I, we're going to do our first summit, the Next Level Business Move Summit, and we're doing that in September 24th. If you want to be a part of that, hit us up or drop drop your connection with us, and we'll definitely send out the link to you, and we'll send it out in the show here as well. And of course, Carl, let them know about you, sir.
Yeah, you know what it is. The 4 week intensive. Are you ready to be transformed? It's a simple question, and I know that you are. It's 4 week intensive that I'm doing, that I've been doing for about like 2+ years now, and the results are amazing. Dealing with the C-suite leadership, but it's not exclusive to them. Exclusive to them. It's also inclusive for all leaders, all those who want to better themselves. We're on every level of leadership. Go register today. CarlShawnWatkins.com with the /VTP. That's the Vulnerability Transformation Program. Get you where you want to be so you can be the authentic you, whether you're in leadership, whether you want to be a leader, whether you're aspiring to be a leader, or whether it's just aspiring to run your own thing. Join us so we bring out the best in you. It's a 4 week intensive where we break it all down for you. We put you through the gamut. And after that, the transformation will take place. Go join me, CarlShawnWatkins.com /VTP.
And if you have a struggle site and you need to transform that DIY into your powerhouse for digital marketing, head on over to strugglesiterescue.com or brooklyn.customdesigns.com/SOS and be a part of that, so I can help you get a strategy together so you know what platform you should be on, what's your SEO looking like, and of course, how can you make your website your number one. And Carl, you there? Okay.
Yeah, I'm there because I'm seeing these little buds come up. Hold up, get up off. It's too hot for my internet not to be working. Let's get it
Oh
started.
Lord. So first and foremost, we are about to bring on someone that all of LinkedIn should know. If you don't know, what is it called? You're doing LinkedIn wrong.
Yeah, you doing LinkedIn wrong. Actually, you ain't even doing it. I'm changing that. You're not even doing LinkedIn. I don't know what you're doing.
That is true. So let us bring in Mr. John Buglino. What's
What's
going on, sir?
what's
Good
up?
morning.
Yeah.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning, John. What's going on, man?
I'm just happy to be here. This is fantastic. This is a long time coming. I'm happy to be here. I see the comments already. All my
Flowing.
friends are showing up, so I'm ready to roll.
Yes, John.
Yes, they came out big time.
Yeah, yeah. John bringing all the swag on this Tuesday morning. John, what's going on?
Yep. No, that's it. We're a tight group. We were talking about a pre-show. I have a tremendous circle. And the circle gets bigger, and it's fantastic. I have support up and down, and you can see it in the comments. You can see it what I do on LinkedIn. And I'm just blessed to be here, and everything is fantastic. So, it's ready to get going here.
John,
Yes.
John, we talking about this market. I know that you're a marketer, and I know you've been doing it for a lot. But I think the first thing that really gravitates to me to you on a personal level, um, even before like the show and our relationship now, I think the moniker of what you had on your LinkedIn profile really caught my eye, right? Like who leads with the professional dad and marketer, right? Like when I saw that, I'm like, yo, this is a guy here that is a couple of things, confident in what he's doing, who he is, and what he's representing. Already knows his why, because right there in the title, you know what I mean? And he's explained to you his expertise. I'm like, I always struggle, right? And Charlene hit me with this. I always struggle with trying to put as much to say in less words as possible, right? And I looked at your optimization on your profile. I was like, dude, has explained it all pretty much right here for you to go. So now I'm just inquisitive, man. How did you just come about the simplicity of just knowing not who you are so much, but what you do, how you put it all together and put that bow on top, man? Give us a little bit about John, man, and who he is.
Man, first and foremost, I do it, because again, my why is crystal clear. It's family first through and through. There's no doubt about it. Even when, I preach about empathy and been talking about, and that's really where I got the idea about leading with being a professional dad, because so many people try to hide, so many people, try to put in the background and show up all professional, suit and tie. And it's like, no. I was like, you're going to get me. I'm the dad. I'm going to post about my kids. I'm going to post about what's going on during work, after work, and less is more. right? So when you talk to me, I'm right up front, you know. And there's another guy in the audience, Dan Bigger, is the same way. We are probably the most transparent people to be put together on the same team, and there is no gray area. If there is, we call each other out on it. We talk all the time, but I think more people need to embrace what they are, right? They have to embrace it. I don't know why you're running from it. I don't know why you're trying to put up some faux moniker. When you talk to me, you're going to get real. You're going to get transparent. You're going to get open. And if you don't want to be hit between the eyes, I'm apologies in advance, right? Carl, when we spoke months ago, we had a very open conversation
Big time,
about
man.
our upbringing, about your dad, my parents, how we are, what we do, why we do it. And that's what you get, you know, and that's exactly what it is. You know, day in, day out, I don't have to put on a show. I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. I can just talk about what happened, right? I can just talk about it, be open. I don't have to remember what I told Charlene last week. I don't have to remember what I told Carl 2 months ago. It's my life. It is what it is, you know. And you know, people say, "Oh, you're a dad before you're a career person." I'm like, yeah, I am. I know what my why is. I know if anything happened to my family, the first thing I drop is my company, and that's everybody. And if you don't embrace that, you're lying. You are absolutely lying. So that's it, just being truthful. And you know, the optimization of the profile, I tweak and I optimize and I get better every day through my community. I take what they tell me, I put it to good use, you know. And that's it. You know, if you give me advice, I'm going to take it. You know, I might not take everything to the T, but I'm going to listen and I'm going to apply it and I'm going to get better from it. So that's it. That's what you get. You know, that's why I'm here. You know, just like today when we started up, I'm like, I moved my whole office, right? Like everyone knows, if you follow me, you know that usually this is not the background. You know, you don't see my sports stuff behind me. But so many people have said, you know, you have a great window. Put your stuff in front of the window. And I'm like, yeah. And then they were like, no. You really need to put it in front of the window. You're doing it wrong. I'm like, all right. So then getting ready for this show, I'm like, I can't go live right now and not have myself facing the window. I was like, I know everyone's gonna blow me up in the comments, like, oh, it'd be great if. So you know what? I moved everything, you know, and it took 5 minutes. But again, I'm taking what people are telling me, I'm applying it. And you know what? It's better. I love it. I can see what's going on outside. Lighting is great. You guys get to see my sports, you know, my fanaticism behind me. Let's do it.
Man, that's
Love that.
awesome,
And
man.
I think that's why everybody loves connecting with real people on LinkedIn, because they don't have to wonder who they're getting. Especially, we were also talking about all these live meetups that people are doing. You already feel like you know who you're talking to. So wouldn't it suck if you now go in person and the person is totally different? They have this all up, or you know, they don't feel comfortable because they didn't get to know the real you, or they didn't allow
Right?
themselves to be known at who they really are. So I want to say, take us into when we're trying to be marketing or marketers, and we're
Mm-hmm.
marketing, especially through rough times and tough situations like a recession or inflation. We're dealing with so much. How can we still connect with people? Because marketing is pretty much saying, hey, buy this, right? Or, hey, you know, you want this. And like, they're looking at you like, do I need it? Maybe they do. But how do you keep them tied in and focused and hone in on, yes, even though, yes, I know the times are hard, I know things are difficult, but this is really what you need. And I'm coming from a standpoint of us being business owners, small business owners. We're doing startups, and we also holding down 9 to 5s. How can we still get out there and not feel bad if we're in a recession, that we're trying to get people to come to things?
I'm telling you, there's no. I think throughout my career, I don't think I've ever taken my foot off the gas. I think leaning into what's going on in the world, embracing it for what it is, staying true to your plan, right? You know, you're not going to get many people buying stuff right now, but you can't go away for 6 months and then pop back up and they'd be like, oh, where you been for the last 6 months? Like, you can do things during the harder times or when people aren't thinking about it, because you still need to show up. You still need to be there. You still need to be top of mind, right? So I think you have to look at yourself, look at your plan, right? You might not be able to pull the trigger on the software that you were looking to buy or an event you were looking to go to and things like that. So you just put it on the back burner and you figure out something else you can do. Reallocate the funds, push it forward, or just keep it and just wait and embrace what's going on around you. And I think as marketers, we're always viewed as the cost center. Like, here he is, wants to spend more money, wants to go feed the Google engine, wants to go run some ads, wants a new banner, things like that. And they're right, but at the same time, there's a reason behind it. When everyone backpedaled, I pushed forward. So when you all pulled your ads, my ads were still there. When you all decided to wait, I was still going. So I think that's a lot that you have to find a way to stay present and top of mind without a budget, right? That's another big thing, is that you have to figure out how to run a department, run a team with no budget. Because once you know there's no budget net or there's no budget, then you start getting scrappy. Then you start looking at how I can leverage either individuals, tools, what's available. You can find out shortcomings of yourself. For example, when I first started, everyone was like, oh, what's this Adobe Illustrator? What's this Photoshop? I'm dating myself here, and it was like, we need someone to make graphic design up. Well, we didn't want to hire anyone to do graphic design. So I said, you know what? I'll take the courses. And you know what the difference was? I didn't wait for my boss or my leader to give me the money for it. I paid for it out of pocket. So I am an Adobe certified professional, and I paid for it out of my own pocket. And I didn't ask permission. I just did it. And I think I've done that throughout my career, where if I feel strongly about something, I'm just going to go forward. I'm not going to look for somebody else to get things done for me. If I want something done, I'm going to do it myself, or I'm going to figure out a way to do it, right? And I think that's how, as a marketer, you really need to look at your plan, what's changing, and what is going to happen from like 6 to 9 months down, right? So an example that I'll give is, we recently changed our CRMs. I didn't think of this overnight. I had this idea 9 months ago, and just yesterday, we finally got rid of the one disparate system that was part of the plan of consolidation, right? So it's been 9 months of doing this work. And 9 months ago, we were all home. There was, think about what was going on 9 months ago, but at the same time, I was able to build my business case, get it approved, implement it, and I kept my plan. So it's all part of, you have to think further, and you have to stop letting what's happening today impact your tomorrow. Think future. Keep looking forward. Don't look behind you. I used to tell my team in a former life, as I like to say it, you can go in any direction you want as long as it's forward. And they're all like, oh, here he is dropping a dad joke. I'm like, no. That's real. You have to keep moving forward, because everyone else is moving forward and you can't believe what everyone else is saying. So you have to keep pressing forward and keep moving. So as a marketer in these tough times, I'm still pedal down. So everyone else can cower. You're still going to find my ads. You're still going to find me in market. You're still going to find me on events like this. And I'm just going to keep going. So you can go in the background, but I'm still going to be there. I'm still going to show up. And I'm going to be the same person, right? This is just part of my plan that I'm just executing against.
Yeah, man, you dropped you dropped quite a bit there. My mind, I recycle information up there. So with everything that you drop, and the phenomenon is what you're saying is the reality of that. But the piece of it is, people are trend watching, people are penny pinching. People are looking at, I was reading quite a few ads, and I read about the marketing, because that's really a game that I'm really learning my own self, to see how to trigger that and how to stay ahead of that, and being the visionaries, which most people are, who have come into this branch of solopreneur, entrepreneur. I mean, you had to have vision, right, to even just go out and to go into this realm. But I think a lot of times we drop that vision in the essence of adversity and things that kind of close the circle in on us, right? When we start these projects or we start these passion points, we have so much optimism. We have so many things going. We have so many people that may have wanted to chime in and help and support, right? And when all of that
Right.
is dissipated, we're looking like, okay, all right, well, oh, man, well, I didn't get as many clients this month. So I kind of got to like pinch back. I love the essence of what you're saying with the 10 toes down. I think I saw that as well from Phyllis in the comments. It has to be a visionary piece of that because you have to see where you're going. I looked at the entrepreneurship and how everybody bust on board here with the pandemic. And I just thought it as a lot of people having a lot of ideas and taking advantage of a situation, right? I can't be at work. I can't interact with people in the flesh, so to speak. So let me see this little idea I've been thinking about. I've been had in my mind. I'm gonna put it out there. A lot of that hasn't been with the essence of being thought out. It was an avenue of just taking advantage of where we were because we're not there anymore. People are able to go out and do things now. So really the pandemic case that we built everything on is not the same as it was in 2020. And people are really have not adapted to, like you're saying, we're moving that forward and continuing forward because their optimism is kind of left. How are you, even with the 10 toes down? What are some of the steps? And I think I want to ask this for even those that are listening. What are some of the steps that you had, or some of the hurdles, should I say, that you had to overcome to say, okay, I want this 10 toes down. It's really optimal. And I really can't get this software because that was amazing what you said. Now you certified. Now I'm going to have to come take your course. I can't get optimized because I can't even spell Adobe, let alone use it. So I got to come take your course. But what were some of the things that you just said, you know what, John, this is what I'm going to do. I can't see nothing else. This is what's going to pick me up. This is what's going to keep my ball rolling. What are some of the steps you took to do that, man?
It's all about just staying real to yourself and true to yourself. If it doesn't feel good, run away from it, right? Or if it feels good or you really feel passionate about it, run at it full steam, right? And like I said, there's a lot of people that wait for others to have their same vision before they execute. And it's like, no, that you can't have others have your vision. It's your vision, right? So like I said, I don't wait, right? It's, oh, we really need a designer. I'm going to go get certified. Oh, we really need a Salesforce admin. I'm there. I'll do it. A HubSpot admin. Fine. And it's my idea of just continuing to learn and continuing to grow and saying, you know what? I don't know everything about this CRM, but I'm going to learn everything to make my job easier, my life easier. It's a mindset that, again, more people look for others before they look to themselves. So if I have an obstacle or if I have something to do, I figure out how much I'm going to be able to do, and then I'll figure out if I'm going to have to ask for some help or figure out how else I can get this done, right? So I always look at the task of how much is going to fall on my plate, and could be an old knock to me. I don't delegate as much as I should, but I like taking control of the situation. I don't look for others to do what I need to do, is the core of it, right? I'm nose down. I want everyone to know that they can depend on me. I don't have a large marketing team. I'm a marketing team of one. I have one individual on my team that does SEO. And again, that's one thing, like, being real, I do not know anything about SEO. I completely, as a marketer, like, I give it to my marketing manager, who that's all he wants to do. That's all he wants to do. He loves it. It's his passion. And you know what? I'm gonna let you go chase your passion because it's a weakness of mine, but it's your passion and you're on my team. We're good. I don't need to know. I'm going to tell you what the vision is. You go execute against the vision, and let's just talk about the results, right? I didn't sit there and start researching SEO or taking courses. I have a person that is on my team that wants to do it. Go do it, right? And there's a lot of people in the audience or that'll watch it to say, he just admitted he doesn't know anything about SEO. I do, but I don't have to be an expert. I'm not a guru. I'm not an expert. I'm not someone that's going to teach a course on it. But I can be conversational about it. I can tell you exactly what I'm doing from my brand standpoint and what I'm doing for my company. But I'm not an expert in it, but I can be conversational about it. So I think there's a lot that people just need to be more real with themselves and others. And I think that'll solve a lot of problems for people.
I love that you said you don't have to be an expert, but to know about it is key.
Mhm.
Because I think a lot of times, especially as we're starting our own companies, our own businesses, we want to do enough. And then as soon as we get overwhelmed, we're like, oh, okay, I got to give it to someone else. But that's not the purpose of you learning different aspects
Mhm.
of your business. You want to learn different aspects. So as you're going out to hire people, you know what they should be doing. You can
Right.
say, okay, this looks right, this sounds right. And then especially when you're hiring them, how do you know what questions to ask? Right? If
Sure.
you don't have an understanding of what should these people be doing, what's the expectations I have. So I love that you said, you take what you, especially if you're passionate about it, you go out there and you learn it first. You learn it to some degree, and then look, as soon as you're ready to hand it off, this is what you should be doing. This is what I'm expecting. If I'm this level and you told me you're a professional, you should be 10 times better than me.
Right. Exactly.
Definitely.
And that's
And
the
I
key
think
to
that
weeding out too. Charlene makes a good point. That's the key to weeding out, right? You learn a lot of these things, and these things I think in business is just my thinking. Maybe I know I think much differently than other people, but I'm saying in my essence of it, I need to know something about it, right? And
Mhm.
it's not a passion, a piece where I got to teach courses, where I got to be the one. But if I'm knowing what my website's supposed to look like, or I'm knowing what my business is supposed to look like, or I have the vision because it's mine, right? So I should have a vision. So in that vision, I should have some clues or some images or something to show me that this is how it should be. So if I don't
Right.
learn how to explain that to someone, how can I even bring someone on that's gonna carry my business? Because a lot of times we overwhelm self with self, right? We start the business, we want it to
Yep.
be successful, we want to learn all the ins and outs because it's ours, it is our baby, we birthed it, we've trolled and we've got all the sweat and tears in it, and we don't have a premise to say, let me optimize the vision of it so I can give bits and pieces. So to kind of talk about that a little bit, John, because I want to go into that, because a lot of times we get these businesses and we have them, right, even on the marketing sense, even in the recession sense, we get to the point and place to say, this is mine, I don't really know what I want to share, I don't want to share, I want to know everything, I want to build it up, I want to. How did you get to the point of saying, I know you talked about a little bit with that SEO piece, but talk about that on the whole level of not trying to be the expert of it. Talk about the vulnerability piece in that, because that's really why I'm driving that. And I think a lot of us don't really say, okay, you know what? That's really what it is. I'm not vulnerable enough to let this go. I'm not vulnerable enough to say I don't know. That makes me look bad. I'm a CEO of the business and I don't have answers. Talk a little bit about that piece, how you had to really reconcile with that in this recession piece and through your marketing.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. It's people that just don't want to be truthful to themselves and admit that they're not good at something or that they're not the expert, and they think someone's gonna be like, oh, they don't know this, so that's the end of it. And there's a ton of things that have happened during the recession and the pandemic and everything else where a lot of people like started reading a lot of books. A lot of people started taking courses and certifications, and everyone's like, why is everyone around me doing all these things? It's like because people are feeling like it's a time when they have everyone's guards down, no one's paying attention, right? So I'm gonna go get all my certifications. I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna start LinkedIn Lives or going live. I'm gonna start posting on social. I'm gonna redo my website. All those different things. And you know what? A lot of people did it and they didn't post about it, but now you're starting to see it come out. Right now, you're starting to see these experts and these certifications and these new websites and these new centers of excellence are all coming about. This has been happening, everybody. They just haven't been forward with it. But people, when they let their guard down, started improving, right? And like I said, my thing is I always try to learn. I'm always learning. Like Dan will tell you in the comments, like we don't fail, we learn, right? You guys say it all the time. We don't fail, we learn. I will always look to learn and get better. I take certification course for marketing. I join Slack communities. I join podcasts. I join other lives in the comments. I learn from people because I don't know everything and things are changing so quickly that it's impossible to keep up, right? For example, recent example, Instagram just changed their feed. You know what? As we sit here, I don't care. Why don't I care? Because I know what I'm going to post on Instagram. I know what I'm going to do on Instagram, and I know my frequency. I'm not going to change it because the algorithm changed. Same as LinkedIn, same as Facebook. I'm not going to worry about these little things that happen and let it consume my day. I'm going to continue to do what I'm going to do. And if it shows up differently, fine. But you know what? It's still there, right? Like everyone's like, oh, Facebook changed their thing. Fine. Meta's going to change. It's going to change. Stop worrying about what's changed and start worrying about just continuing to move yourself forward, right? Instagram didn't go away. They changed the feed. You know what? Again, who cares? Do your lives, do your reels, keep your hashtags, shoot your videos, do whatever you're going to do. Because you know what? Tomorrow it's going to change again. And then in August, it's going to change again, right? Same thing going back to SEO. Google changes its mind as much as I take a shower. Every day, it seems like there's a new change and something new, something different. I will not let that consume me. I will continue to press forward, continue to just adapt, grow, consult other people to do the things for me. But again, remain knowledgeable about these things, right? Remain knowledgeable about it so you know what's happening. And again, it's all about being conversational about these different things, even in marketing. There are so many things going on, right? I'm Adobe certified. Now there's Canva and all these tools where people are like, we don't need that anymore. I can go on and be my own editor and do my own thing. Good for you. In my day, we needed Adobe, right? And I'm better at that because I know about design. I know, like, Charlene, you could probably under the table design and you could look at something that I can see that you can see it, I can't. And that's fine because I will look at it and say, you know what? Charlene's going to look at my website and she's going to give me 10 things to change. You know what? I'm going to change them. Why? Because you are the person that I would lean on for website design help. I don't need to worry about what's new and trending. I'd be like, Charlene, what do you think? And I would just go back and forth and have that conversation because it's my curiosity, right? Should I have a video on the website? Should I have a GIF on my website? Should I have an image? Should I have live feed? Whatever. You tell me, and we'll play off it from there.
Yes, and I love that you said that because regardless of what's changing in the social world, the main factor is, are you there? And you made the point earlier, no matter when everybody else was stopping, you kept moving, you kept going. And part of that is reflective with Carl, where he said, someone Googled him and he was all over the Google. He was all over the internet. And that didn't come overnight. That came from months and years of him just consistently putting something out. So a lot of times when we're trying to be seen and visible, we don't realize, like, if you didn't put the groundwork in, then how is anybody going to find you? That's not going to happen overnight, especially through organic searching. And that's exactly what people are doing now. When you're starting to look for folks who've been talking since 2020, they've been doing that work since 2020. So yes, you're going to find them. So everybody else who wants to come up in the mainstream and say, oh, remember when I changed my site? No, because you didn't say anything. You didn't tell us about your services. You didn't tell us that you even existed. So how would we look for you first? So yeah, marketing is very much about keeping yourself constantly in the public eye, some way, some shape, some form. And you don't have to be on every platform. You just got to be on a platform. You got to be somewhere and be active there.
And it's not all about spending that money too, John, because we're talking about this recession piece, right? I can tell you right now, I haven't paid for any marketing. I haven't paid for any ads. In the past 3 years, I've used everything free. I think the only thing that I pay for maybe is these streamings, because to do more, you got to pay, right? Sure. And have subscriptions too. So, I mean, if you just really want to be honest about it and pull the transparency cloth, I haven't paid for anything in 3 years. And when I say to not pass the initialness of whatever it costs, to have it or create the account or actually to do some initial legwork in it, I haven't got the company pages. I haven't paid for the company sites and putting all of that money out there. So a lot of times we talk about what can be done without budgets, right? It's the tenacity of which you have. I'm a sports guy, so I want to win. Right? I'm a former athlete who's still mad that these guys that I play sports doing signing these millions and millions of dollars of contracts, and that's a horse for another day. But I just think about those things on the competitive stuff. Like, I was playing, man, cats was signing $100,000 contracts. Now cats is signing multi-million, $500 million contracts, right? So I'm
Yep.
looking at that. What was the tenacity behind them? Okay, I'm fighting that grind. All right, I don't have a big budget. I don't have a marketing team. My marketing team is a team of I, right? So how can I put marketing as one of my many pieces of my pie that I have and say, yo, free? I say LinkedIn serve the able to the most guests you ever have on your platform, right? The most, I won't say the most guests because I know Instagram, them, they have a lot of people, but I'm saying the most paying, the most profitable, the most arena that you really want to be in, that you got decision makers, movers and shakers, billionaires just looking at stuff, right? That you got an
Yep.
opportunity to get by. So I said, yo, start putting it on their free platform. They don't charge you for anything. I don't have to buy Sales Navigator. I don't have to. All I got to do is I got to be ingenious with how I say what I say. I got to stick out from the crowd of how I blast it. I got to continue to blast it. You know, people say, oh, yeah, I do it in the afternoon, the morning, and the evening. No, when I get a thought, I put it out there. When I when I get a vision, I put it. Man, I'm telling you, I got my first year on the grind, John. Man, if I could box up and sell all the nonsense that I got, and I'm not disrespecting anybody who poured into me, right? But I'm saying all the nonsense of ideas I got about how I should run what I love. I'd be ran in a hole right now. People told me, oh, you can only need to post 3 times a day. I told the person, I say, Macy's, right? Big department store, Macy's, right? You know, they text me 20 times a day talking about deals and coupons and discounts. So I'm going to go with me not being a known, right? I'm going to say, 3 times is enough for me. 800 million people, 3 times is enough for me. How did you get that tenacity in me? I know you're a sports dude too. That's why I kind of brought that in. What were some of the things and the challenges that you really came about as the pandemic hit you? I know you put the 10 toes down, but talk from an essence of giving us some of that insight. What was some of the things that you said, oh, wow, this is really tough. I'm gonna have to really fight my way out of this paper bag. I'm gonna really have to buckle down with some of these things. What are some of the avenues that you took to get there, man?
Oh man, I started my new journey with Uptessa in February of 2020,
Mm-hmm.
and I then we went home, right? It hit, and the first thing on my list to do from my CEO was to redo the website. That was the first thing, right? And I'm sitting there going, okay, I just started. No one knows who I am. I have to roll out a new website for a new product, new service, new industry. All right, we can do it. And I did it. First 100 days of being employed with Uptessa, I rolled out a new website. Was it the best? No. Was it new? Sure. And then we rolled out 2 or 3 more throughout the year because we started playing. Let's fix it, right? Things are fundamentally broken. Links are broken. Things, pages aren't loading properly. Images are all over the place. So we fix things in increments, right? Like here we're gonna do a new UI, right? Now we're gonna do a new color scheme. Now we're gonna do page speed and just get better small chunks at a time and roll things out. So people, when I tell them that story, like you start a new role and roll out a website in 100 days. Yes, I did. Started February 10th. We went live May 7th, right? Those are the dates. And like I said, we were home March 18th, like the rest of the world. So I rolled out a brand new website and got everyone together on my new team that knew me, didn't even know me, right? We have locations in New Jersey. We have locations in India. We have locations in Edmonton. No one knew who I was, and all I was this guy looking for, is this content accurate? If you had to change this on the website, what would you do? Right? And just roll, that was it, and then from there it was, okay, now we got a new website. Now we got to get on social, right? Now we got to show up. How are we showing up? And I didn't, to your point, Carl, no money. It's free. It's a free platform. You could do so much free that you don't need a sales navigator. You don't need LinkedIn ads. You don't need Facebook ads. You don't need Google ads. There is so much that you can do and leverage with $0 if you just looked. And if you just rolled up your sleeves and looked at it from, I have no money. What can I do? You have a website and you have a social media channel, you're good, right? You're good. Charlene will tell you, small business owners, solopreneurs, what's the first thing they do? They get a website on their own terms, right? You don't set up shop on Borrow Landscape, right? You don't set up a website where the plug can get pulled out, and now it's like, oh, what's going on? You set up shop, and then you branch out from there. And you know what? There's so many tools. There's so many people that'll do it for you. You can reach out to somebody and say, build me a website for free, and then you can use me forever as a focal point, right? I'll be your testimonial site for 6 months. Just build it for me. I'll let you market it, do whatever you want to do. And you will be surprised how many designers will do that for you if you just ask and just roll up your sleeves and think about it from a different lens. Sure, Carl, let's draw a new website. We have $50,000. Let's go do it. We'll go and we'll burn through that money real fast. But if I say, Carl, let's roll up our sleeves and build a website, I'd be like, all right, let's do it. Let's go figure it out. Let's look at our community. Let's look at who can help us. And let's look at it from a different lens. And that's where a lot of people have to get that lens to get better.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's awesome. You should say that again for Charlene. She about to fall out the seat up there. Talking about that website thing, boy. Because
I'm preaching to the choir. You guys know it. You know,
yes,
there's nothing new, even in marketing. What you need to do, you know, ads will be there. You know, social platforms are going to be there. You know, websites and blogs and things like that. Sure, podcasts come, but guess what? The podcasts are punching back to a blog or to a website, right? And people are not keeping it on that borrowed landscape or that borrowed, area. They're bringing it back to what they control. My website's always going to be there. It's going to live in perpetuity, and that's how we're going to roll with it. And that's what a lot of people need to realize.
Exactly, especially when you're coming from doing the social media. I saw we did have a question about, when you start losing business and you start losing the consumer confidence, how do you get the marketing, or what marketing plans, and maybe like one or two, that can help you keep that going? Or are you rebuilding all over again from scratch? Like, how do you deal with something like that?
Customer loss, or that leaky bucket, is never easy. But again, it's you have to embrace the fail, and you have to learn from it, right? And you got to own up to it, and that's, if you're going to lose an account, learn from it. What did we do wrong? What happened? Like, when did this start? Because when you're selling software, or you're selling something, or a product or commodity, and someone doesn't buy from you again, it's not a knee-jerk reaction. This is a long time coming. These are calculated decisions. And if you're not nurturing, or if you're not embracing what's going on, or paying attention and just expecting, recurring revenue from this customer, like, no, you can't do that. You have to continue to, you plant the seeds everywhere. You got to water them. You got to nurture them. You got to watch things grow. And that sometimes, at the other side of it is, sometimes there's bad customers, right? Sometimes, we have to prune a little bit as well, sticking with the flower theme here. But, I think there's a lot as a marketer you can do from a retention standpoint, from a customer standpoint, and you have to make sure you're paying attention. And it's very simple. Ask them. It's very simple. Ask them what they want or what's missing, and not once in a while. Like, make it a recurring meeting where you show up and the whole thing, hey, Carl, what can we do better? And just shut up and just listen. And that's it. And you say, okay, thank you for telling me ABC. I'm going to come back to my team. We just did Net Promoter Score at my company. First time we ever did it. And I said, you know what? I want to know what my users think. And majority said, you guys are great. It's amazing. Got testimonials, all's good. But what you learn from those things is those that don't think so highly of you and give you those bad scores, right? You get those detractors or those passives that are kind of like on the fence. So then when you look at those things, and then you look at what's going on in the customer's world, hey, they haven't signed that contract yet. Well, they just gave us a 1 on an NPS. They're not happy. They have a list a mile long of things we need to change. Maybe that's why they're not renewing. When's the last time you spoke to them? You're not paying attention to the right noises. You're assuming, and you never assume, we know this, but you have to keep your feelers out. As a marketer, retention falls to you, right? The way I'm showing up today, the way I'm promoting my brand, Uptessa, and everything of everyone that's in the comments, like, people show up because they know me. They want to see me. They know what I represent. They know what my brand represents. And I'll keep saying it till I'm blue in the face or red in the face because I'm Italian. I get hot. But, but it's a matter of, as a marketer, you have to become the brand. You have to. Whether you put it on your back, like Carl, you and I, you're Mr. Vulnerability, with your trademark there. That's it. You don't look for anyone else to be Mr. Vulnerability. It's you. People want to talk to you, engage with you, talk to you. They know what they're going to get. Same thing, Charlene. They know what they're going to get when they look to you and you reach out to them or they reach out to you to say their website. They're coming from a place of, you need to help me. And you got to meet them where they are. And as a marketer, you have to be in tune with those things and you have to be able to adapt and also put those things out there to get that information, right? We are better because we know why people don't like us. We are better from a product and service and customer service standpoint because we know why people don't like us. So again, I do those surveys to find out where that leaky bucket is or that squeaky wheel, and then we go 10x on them, right? Here's what they said. Here's what we need to do. You need to call them. You need to embrace them, because don't look to me when that account doesn't renew or they stop ordering. Don't look to me. I told you. I'm going to sit there and go, told you. I told you 3 months ago this was a problem. You didn't listen. That's on you. So.
And I wanted to do a little, I guess not pushback, but I want to kind of counter this thought that many consumers now have less to spend. They are still looking for ways to buy their favorite brands. They will mainly look for discounts, bulk purchases at a cheaper rate, or they will wait for things to go on sale. Now, yes, but if you have your ideal clients and they've been rocking with you for the long term, they know how you move. Nobody's going to a lot of these high-end stores saying, hey, you got a discount coming up? Because they know how these stores move. They know how they roll. They know that they're not getting a discount. So either they're going to save their money and spend it where they want to, or they're going to try to battle and go to the cheap places where they know, like, this is not going to be the same experience. And a lot of times it's really not quality, it's an experience that you're being sold. So are you building that experience for your consumers? Are you even trying? Now is the time. Before the inflation was the time to start building that experience for people. So when hard times came, you weren't the one that they said, well, I got to drop this one. I'm not, it's nothing to me. I won't miss you. You have to make them miss you. And if they're not going to miss you, then what's the point of you trying to raise your prices? Of course, they're going to look for the cheaper rate. So you don't want to put yourself in that bucket of, these are the cheapsies and this is where I should be. Like, dumpster diving is what I consider it, when you always leave your prices at the bottom and then you're expecting everybody to jump up for you. No, if you want to be where the dumpster diving is going, then do your thing. But if that's not what it is, don't be nervous when people stop buying, because those are not your people. Your people will always rock with you because they'll see the value, but you have to show that to them. Don't sit there and assume that people know the value you bring if you're not. So that means, like John and Carl and myself been saying, you need to be out there all the time. If it's not a live show you're doing, you should be posting videos. You should be posting photos of yourself, your company, experiences that your clients have had. You need to be doing all of these things so you can build that momentum. So, John, what do you think about this, about the cheap seats?
Oh man, they're always going to be there. The lower option is always going to be there. You can even become that lower option if you say, you know what, we'll give you a discount. But you have to stay true to your value, right? And you have to say, like, everyone's got competition. You know exactly what's going on. You know what it is. And when you're with these customers, you have to tell them, you can absolutely go right ahead and go to a different supplier or vendor or wherever you want to go. Good luck. But like you're saying, if we're in it for a couple of years or whatever it is, you know what you're going to get from us. You know what we deliver. You know what we've been able to provide for you. If you want to go explore, fine. We'll be here when things, go bad, or if you need us, right? You can't go to that level But it's at the same time, it's like you're splitting hairs, right? It's a matter of if they want to leave, they're gonna leave, right? So if that conversation's happening, you've already lost, right? So there's no reason to go down like you're saying the dumpster dive. Like they've already decided they're gonna leave. This is just their casual way of saying I'm leaving, right? And you have to stay to your value, right? You have to know that value and say you can go do whatever you're gonna do. I know you're not gonna get ABC. I'll reach out to you in 6 months, right? We're keeping contact. Thank you very much for telling us, but embrace it, right? You know people are looking for better prices. You know how we combat that is we're looking to lock in customers longer term, right? Because a longer term we can do a discounted rate, right? You know, so if you want to lock in a 3-year deal, we might be able to do something on a subscription, on services, or whatever it is, because we know, you know what, we're going to take a snapshot today, and for 3 years we're not going to talk about it, right? We're not going to talk about it for 3 years, right? That's our option for you. If you want to do 1 year, year to year, that's fine too, but know your value, and you'll be surprised if you start dumpster diving, then that becomes your norm. Then you start thinking in that discounted mindset. You think that everything is going wrong. You think others are thinking the same way. When truthfully, like I said, you know your value. You know you can get what you can get for your services. There's no reason, right? You showed your class coming up. It's the price is the price. You know what? And that's it. If someone wants it cheaper, you know what? Wait until you can afford it, right? Or pay the price. That's really it. And that's just how the world works, right? It's like, yeah, I'd love to give my software away for free, but I can't do it. I can't do it. There's too much that my company does. There's too much that we do, our pride, and exactly how much it is to service you. We can't do it for free. You get dedicated support, all these different things. That comes at a cost, right? And if you leave me, I hope that you get the same. But if not, we're still here, right? We're still going to be here. We'll be, ready to go. Just keep us posted. But like I said, my big thing is if that conversation is happening, you've already lost, and that's truth, because they wouldn't start that conversation if their mind wasn't made up, right? It's kind of like my wife says, I really want to go out for Italian tonight. There's no reason to suggest anything else. We're going out for Italian. If I want sushi or if I want something else, doesn't
Eat it
matter.
tomorrow. Eat it tomorrow. Don't eat it tonight.
That's it. It's gone. It's over. It is what it is at that point. It's just a matter of how you deal with that situation, how you lean into it, and how you approach it. And I think that's, refreshing to hear when people don't go down to that dumpster diving and start, I'll give you at a 50% rate. Why? Why are you diminishing your value? Because I have news for you. They're lying. They have budget.
Yeah.
They have it. What are they going to do? You have to think about it in a position of strength rather than a position of retreat. You have to say, you know what? You can leave, right? And if you flip it on them and you don't go, oh, no, Charlene, don't leave me. I'll give it to you 50% off. It's like, no. My price is my price. I'm sorry. That's it. And you just stand your ground. There's no reason to move. So.
And I push back on that as well because consumers don't have less to spend. People spend on what they want to spend on.
Yeah,
and it's how they want it. That's how it is. That's the course of the world. And people call me frugal, right? But I love Ralph Lauren. If Ralph come out with something, I find myself buying Ralph. It doesn't matter the ticket on the thing. Ralph got a nice watch. It's about 1,800. I have been eyes on for quite a few. I've been putting the coins away. Maybe I'm gonna get this watch or not. Right? Most people, man, you foolish. You paying that for a watch? I love his stuff. It's classic. It's timeless. I've always worn it. So I've always found a way to buy it. So even when I didn't have the job, even when I didn't have the resources, I always put my coins to the side to say that's what I'm going to purchase. So when we go into this mantra of like consumers have less to spend, so my value is less, it's ridiculous. And you've lost half the battle right there because now you're in a gutter race at that point from the door. I don't care how much your value is. Once you start discounting to me and I see that, I'm questioning the value of what you're putting out there. And it's just the same as these companies. When I know what I'm going to purchase, when I want discount stuff, I hit Sam's, I hit Costco's, I hit BJ's, because I know I'm gonna get a bulk, and that's what their expertise is. Give me a bulk of what I like at a price of which I like, right? But when I go into Saks, or when I go to Nordstrom, I ain't going in there looking for no coupon codes. I already know off the bat. You know what I mean? They're not in no referral programs. You know, they're not, when you go to these places, people already know. So when we come at this mindset of saying, you know, consumers have less to spend, that's just you assuming. Because consumers, I keep saying the government in Jersey keeps saying we don't have no money, but I keep seeing these roads being tore up and rebuilt. Somebody got some money. Now maybe it ain't in my account, but somebody got it, and that's how you have to look at it when you're doing your business. I think Emo said the greatest thing. Yo, my consultant ain't for you. I had a lot of people I got off a Zoom call with them. They probably felt more salty than they did when they called me. It wasn't the simple fact that I was just like that in them. It's the simple fact that they wasn't ready to be with me. And that's fine with that. I can keep moving to the next level. You know what? I didn't say because the call felt going shady. You know what? Yeah, I got this program. It's for $2,000, but you know what? You twist them arm. I'm gonna give it to you for $1,000. Okay, no, I didn't do all of that because my program and my stance and my work and my ethic and all of that is in there. That's wrapped up in this value. This is what I placed on it, and this is what you're gonna pay for it. And what you're paying for is not the maybe 30-minute session we're gonna do or the hour Zoom call we're gonna do. You're gonna get the 30 plus years that I didn't learned all of this that I'm giving you in 30 minutes, and that's what you're gonna pay for. And if you don't like that, I don't even have anybody to refer you to. I tell you, have a good day and keep it stepping. Keep it stepping.
Yeah.
I'm not cool, he don't even get our referrals.
I'm not cool. I'm not cool.
No, it's fantastic.
Yes. And we had a question for you, John. Folks wanted to know, where are you from? Are you from Jersey? This came from a Jersey girl.
Oh yeah. So I was born in Staten Island. My parents and family lived on Staten Island, and we moved to Jersey when I was 11 months old. So I'm you know, you get it with my voice and my, you know, so I grew up in Jersey. I'm in Jersey right now. You know, so yeah, Jersey boy through and through.
Yeah, she said she felt it. Your energy was giving her Jersey, so she wanted to confirm.
Oh, when I talk to individuals like in like California or you know in Europe or wherever, they're like, oh no, this guy's not from here. Yeah. I went to a trade show one time and I was running the booth and someone came up from Ireland. And I started talking. They're like, whoa, you are from the States, and I'm like, you better believe it. But what am I gonna do? That's it.
Man, that's that Jerseyness, man. I didn't got a little that Jersey. When I first came up Jersey, I'm from Chicago, so Midwestern. They say we sound country, right? You know, it's the history of the city. You know, a lot of people come up from the South, moved and migrated to Chicago in the 50s and 60s, got jobs. So yeah, we all got a country dialect. But when I came up to Jersey, I started hitting the little Y's and the little S's and the little, you know. I started pulling out my black Italian now, my black Italian, right? I started pulling that out. And I said,
black Italian.
My black Italian. I started pulling that out. And I said, yo, I'm from Jersey, man. I'm from Jersey. They like, you from where? I was like, I'm from Jersey. It's like, man, you've been watching too many Sopranos. Our accent ain't that heavy, man. Stop killing me with that. But man, John, man, it has been phenomenal, man, to have you on, man. Tell people where they can find you at, man, because Optessa is on the map. If you guys haven't heard about it, you guys don't know what John is doing. He's just giving you a snippet, right? This is our show. Amen. He gave you a little snippet in. Don't think that you got enough to go do what you need to do. You don't. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't. Check him out. See what Optessa is doing, right? And go about. We talking about somebody putting the grind on. We ain't talking about nobody had no $50,000 budget and they gonna go pay $25,000 for somebody else to do it. We talking about somebody who walked the walk and talked the talk, man. John, tell them where they can find you, man, and what you got going on.
Let's stay right here on LinkedIn. This is where I love to be. I love to play. You know, I'll be on here all the time. I show up at least once a day on this platform. You can reach out to me. You can also go on my website, optessa.com. And just reach out. So let's have a conversation about your manufacturing operation, or let's talk about what's going on with my kids. Let's talk about whatever you want to talk about. But you're gonna get this is me. And like I said. Doing the video challenges and just how I show up, like you're just going to get raw. Like you're just going to get me. And that's what it is. And like I said, I'm happy to have conversations. I put my hashtag in there right on the bottom here, over here, the Hunt Relationships. Like I want to talk, I want to learn, I want to grow. And that's just what I'm all about. And, so reach out to me. Let's have a conversation. That's how I got on the show with you guys. I thank you both very much. If there's anything I do for you all, let me know. But I'm one of your biggest fans. I'll be blowing up the comments, and supporting you guys, over the next forever, as long as you keep having me on and stuff,
Yeah, we going to
stuff
TV
like that.
next. We going to
But
TV
yeah,
next. That's what it is. We're going to TV next. I told Charlene that when we started, we didn't have not one. I think John, you've been with us from the beginning, but we didn't have
Yep.
like one supporter, one iota when we started this. When we wrote the roadmap for what we're doing right now, I said TV is the end goal. Right. So we haven't accomplished anything till we've got there. We have accomplished greatness with you guys pushing us forward, though. We got global success in this show. We got people following us from Greece, South Africa. I mean, from all over the continent, Europe, Germany. Man, they come in the comments and they blow us up from all over the world. And then I've gotten DMs from different parts of the world. So when they watching my stuff on different time zone, it is a magnificent feeling. It is one of humility and humbleness. It's not one to say that I've arrived, I've came, you know what I mean? I joke about those kind of things, but I'm just humbled at the success that we've had. Or just two little people like me and Charlene just say, this is what we're gonna do. This is how we feel. This is what we're gonna share, and let's see what happens. You're right, and this is what it is. And John in that same mode, he been with us from the long haul, and we definitely gonna continue to push your business out, man. Continue to get people to come
I
and see
appreciate
what
it.
you got, man, and come visit in Jersey. We gotta come in Jersey, John. I keep talking about these visitations, right? I know Charlie gonna give me
We're gonna
Yeah, I
do it.
always say
gonna give
until
me
he
the
show
gas
up
rate,
at your
right?
doorstep. Mm-mm.
I'm always talking about I'm a travel man, but I got to get out around because we have so many phenomenal people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis or looking at their content and engaging with them. And they're right here in the backyard, man. We're in the same state. We gotta make it happen, man. Hit lunch, man. Maybe hit. I'm a lasagna Italian guy. I got my roots in Italian when I went to Germany in the army. I love Italian food. I love the sauces. I love all of that. The oregano. I'm even a little cook too. I put little oreganos in stuff and I get it done. But we gotta go get us some. We gotta go get us some, man. I love lasagna, so let's get us some, man. The real spaghetti guys, not the ones that y'all mix all together. Pasta over here, sauce over here. You know what I mean? The real spaghetti. Let me stop before I get in trouble. Yes, but John, thanks
Uh-huh.
for coming out, man. Take over, Charlie. Take over, Charlie.
And on that note, we are closing it out. Thank y'all for showing up and showing out as always. And we will see y'all Thursday. Have a great
Thursday,
one,
guys.
everybody.
Have a
Love
good
it.
one. Thanks
Peace.
again.
Yes.
Talk with Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it. Real talk with Carl and Charlene. Real talk for the real world. Let's get it.